Hi, and welcome to the Dynamics of Persuasion Cognitive Dissonance Theory. We're going to discuss the foundations of cognitive dissonance theory, dissonance in decision making, dissonance in expenditure of effort, induced compliance, and dissonance in persuasion. Cognitive dissonance means incongruity among thoughts or mental elements. Dissonance is psychologically uncomfortable, physiologically arousing, and drives individuals to take steps to reduce it. It's formally defined as a negative, unpleasant state that occurs whenever a person holds two cognitions that are psychologically inconsistent. People are motivated to take steps to reduce dissonance, including changing their attitude in response to a persuasive message. Different people employ different strategies to reduce dissonance. Some people are better at coping with dissonance than others. People may not always succeed in alleviating dissonance, but they are motivated to try. Dissonance occurs when an individual holds two clearly incongruent thoughts, freely performs a behavior that is inconsistent with an attitude, makes a decision that rules out a desirable alternative, expends effort to participate in what turns out to be a less than ideal activity, or is unable to find sufficient psychological justification for an attitude or behavior he or she adopts. It's only after the decision is made that they can experience the particular stress known as dissonance. We don't experience dissonance after each and every decision. If you can revise your decision, then you should have less dissonance. Research suggests that the following techniques are used to reduce dissonance. Change your attitude. Add consonant cognitions. Derogate the chosen alternative. Spread apart the alternatives. Alter the importance of the cognitive elements. Suppress thoughts. Communicate. Alter behavior. No matter how attractive a group is to a person, it is rarely completely positive. Usually there are some aspects of the group that the individual does not like. Unpleasant initiation and gain admission to the group may cause dissonant cognitions. A person may convince themselves that the group has many positive characteristics that justify the expenditure of effort. Induced compliance. Dissonance theory makes the prediction that under certain circumstances where a person is coaxed to argue publicly for a position he or she does not privately accept and cannot justify doing so, they would come to evaluate the position favorably. These actions are counter-attitudinal. A person freely chooses to perform an action that is inconsistent with his or her beliefs or attitudes. It causes a state of dissonance. One way to reduce dissonance is to change one's attitude so that it is consistent with the behavior. With induced compliance, a person convinces themselves that they really agree with the message. Induced compliance experiment. Fessinger and Carlsmith asked a participant to take part in a boring task, then asked to tell the next participant it had been enjoyable. With the $1 pay condition, they could not justify their actions, and that increased dissonance. With a $20 pay condition, it was more easily justifiable to tell the next participant it had been enjoyable. Dissonance occurs when you are concerned that you will look bad in front of others, when there's a threat to self-esteem, and when the issue is important to the individual and touches the self-concept. Here are some suggestions on how a persuader can use dissonance theory to change attitudes. Make a commitment in public. Encourage people to publicly advocate a position with which they disagree. Confront people with their own hypocrisy. Here's where we've been. When might cognitive dissonance occur? What are some ways to decrease cognitive dissonance? Explain induced compliance. Why did the $1 condition create more dissonance than the $20 condition in the Thesiger-Carlsmith induced compliance study?